And to add like insult to injury, there's an Oracle no Leshrac in the game too, which also hard counter the Necro. So I think SMG has to really mess up their carry pick here to like ruin this. And it just has to like they have to like pick a PL or something to like ruin their draw. Something really AFK farmy that doesn't join the fight at all. And they have to win lanes on T1 for this to be good. But if they just pick like a secure hero, I'd love to see the Drow still for SMG. Something like that along those lines would be really good.
Like T1 has a lot of potential
Or Sniper.
to group up though. If you're like a Luna, you're able to get Aegis, and then you just have an Abaddon behind you and a Necrophos, and like the constant heal output, you can just like siege towers.
Okay, what if they had Sniper though on SMG?
I would love Sniper.
Yeah.
I would love to see it. I'm a big dwarf.
How do you push for Sniper?
So true. Tell him.
I just did.
Tell him again.
Rhetorical question, by the way.
Say it louder for the back row.
Yeah, they should ban it. They should ban it out of fear.
I can't.
I don't know. I mean, they.
Was that a pun or what?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what she was going for there. I feel like she
What? I
was.
wasn't trying to make a joke.
Oh, you
okay.
should ban it out of fear, but
Yeah.
okay. Unintentional pun.
Not everything's about you, fear.
Yeah, it is.
That's
Okay.
true.
No, it
Not everything's
is.
about
Unless you use my name,
you. Mm.
then I feel like it's about me.
Okay, well, this Necro could go anywhere, but they should.
They can't go support.
It can go anywhere.
Yeah. I wanna see it 4, and I wanna see Abaddon 3.
This was I was about to say if this was Beast Coast. This Abaddon, it just goes carry Luna to 4.
Luna to 4.
Luna to 4.
Some yaps were, huh?
Yeah,
It's a
more, I was
classic.
thinking of Tim's.
No, sorry. I'm pretty
There
sure
you go.
yaps were invented it though.
Oy vey. Alright, I would like
Bro.
to see some catch on T1 as they have literally none right now. Like no blink initiation, no like
Alright.
catch.
There's a Drow.
Yeah, Drow is like the freest game of our life if they don't pick something that gets on it right now.
What do you want to see? One of the spirits. You favoring them?
Sadly gone, but yeah, others would
Avoid?
be okay. I wouldn't like Ember. Not into Oracle.
They need Nature's Prophet and just play really fast.
Damn, okay, son.
You think that's the only thing that can resurrect this draft in your eyes?
Yeah, I think so. I think their draft is just like so hard to play that they need to go all in, put all the eggs in the basket here,
Yeah.
and try to crush and end the game. Good lane for Drow too. Just throw the Necro mid, like whatever. Like I don't think Necro's gonna have fun in the off lane versus Drow Oracle, personally, but anything could happen.
Pick Dragon Knight and push towers even more. Yay!
Dragon Knight mid?
Yeah.
It's okay. I don't like that.
I love Tusk!
Yeah,
Hugest fan.
that's
Massive.
off lane for sure.
Yeah.
Or no, it's not.
Mid
It's mid Tusk. What?
Ah!
Is that real?
I
Yeah,
love
I'm gonna
Tusk.
say that is real, and I'm gonna bring in Lyrical and GoDz here to maybe explain this mid Tusk to me. If you want
Nah,
to start Lyrical.
That's all you, Lyrical. That's all you.
there's no explaining
Anything.
going on. We're all gonna witness the greatness that is Carl's Tusk, but I got no explanation. I don't know what the hell the draft was because now they got Luna into Drow. It just everything hurts in this draft for T1.
What's been more shocking, offlane Ember or mid Tusk now, GoDz?
I think this game mid Tusk because it just doesn't seem like a good. I saw one game of mid Tusk in one of the other regions where it looked good because against a melee hero, but mid Tusk into this Slash, I don't know. I think Carl's in for a rough one.
Alrighty, does SMG take it to another game here? Do they take it to game 3? What do you guys think? Which team?
The Tusk mid versus the Drow, like my heart is so conflicted on every. I have to go with Drow.
Okay, so you're going
She's
SMG.
bad. Let's go SMG.
Yep.
Alright, it's pretty obvious where I'm going.
Yeah, I don't know why I even bothered asking you. But Lyrical and GoDz, I'll leave you guys with that question. You can let us know as we are jumping into game number 2.
Thank you, Nat. Yeah, gods, I don't know what the hell's going on here. I mean, every time that we were like kind of having our back and forth as this game was getting ready, I was like, ooh, that looks like a rough matchup. Oh, that one hurts too. And it's like, maybe you just create enough insanity that the whole game is crazy and that's going to be T1's option.
Yeah, I think there's potential for like a Gabby Luna to kind of carry this game in like the mid game, even against some of the bad matchups, just because he's got like this supporting cast that really enables him. Like the Abaddon to just give him the shields, the Bane with the Nightmare save, Cuckoo to frontline as a Necrophos. He's probably going to die 10 times, but you know, as long as Gabby does well, maybe it's okay. I think Carl, they picked the Tusk as like this backline jumping hero. I don't know if it's something they scrim, but it does seem very volatile when you're playing against this lineup. Like, I'm very curious. I'm gonna be watching this Tusk very closely this game.
Yeah, like now that I'm actually thinking about it, and you mentioned that like backline jumping potential. If he finds mid one and just is able to like walrus punch, stay inside the snowball, make sure that he stays on mid one, that could be an option. Because like I've seen so many of these Lunas just get eviscerated late game by marksmanship, and you basically just have no armor. But if Carl can find him, maybe that's the answer. And it's like, okay, Luna just deals with everybody else.
Yeah. I think they don't want it going too late game because I think at some point, yeah, the Drow is just going to be impossible to deal with. But yeah, there is a timing where they've got a Tusk who can jump the Drow. They can also just, keep their Luna alive. Like they even have the Snowball save. I got to imagine Carl's going to go for a Blink Dagger at some point in his item build. No idea what the mid Tusk build is, to be totally honest, but I'm sure there's a Blink in there.
This will definitely be interested. Maybe we'll go back to the Battle Fury days. I can hope, but probably not. The other one that would be pretty cool is Overwhelming Blink. Eventually, saw one of those earlier today on the Queen of Pain. Okay. But time will tell. We will see, and we're getting into this game number 2 right now. Is there anything else that that stands out to you? Like, is the Necrophos going to have as bad of a game as Fear was talking about during the draft?
It looks rough, but I feel like Cuckoo has a way of making these like picks that you kind of question work. He's just like a very mechanically sound player. His laning stage I always feel like goes really well. And he's got, a 4-position Bane, so he's got a pretty solid support to back him up. I think the lane actually will go okay-ish. I could be totally wrong on that. But it's rough. It's very rough. You can't rely on the Reaper's Scythe to kill heroes against Fate's Edict. The Ghost Shroud's going to get purged off. I think they're going to really rely... I mean, I mentioned, the Tusk can jump the Drow. I think, if anything, Ninja Boogie's the hero you're going to have to jump. You have to deal with this Oracle. Otherwise, your Necro has no ability to team fight.
Well, to be fair, they were able to find him a lot that last game. Definitely ran into some issues with positioning, and Tusk is a hero that can punish that quite heavily. So we'll see if, is going to be able to pull it all back together here in this game number 2. Certainly some super interesting drafts, and we saw a ton of freaking battling last time around, and I'm hoping we get that same breakneck pace here in this game number 2 as well.
Yeah, same. I mean, I think particularly looking at SMG, the Grimstroke combos with the Sand King, the Leshrac who can just run at people with the Oracle backing him up. There is definitely potential, I think, for more aggression out of SMG, but T1 themselves, we'll have to see. Probably it's Carl's Tusk who can roam around, make some plays happen. For now, it looks like FaZe Bute's bottle queued up, so he's going to look for that just early mobility. And, I think there is potential for him to go on some of these side lanes and get some kills.
Oh, this is interesting, too. If you look back mid, Carl just shards his whole wave. And it's still not as good of a block as Moon. What? Yo.
Outplayed.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Does dodge the split earth and get a deny, so I think honestly the lane is not going to be like a stomp for the Leshrac, or at least shouldn't be. Carl can just secure range creeps with ice shards and whatnot, and if he dodges these split earths, he should actually be in a pretty good spot to at least get an 40-60 farm trade maybe.
Okay, really something to watch for. And then of course the small camp has not been blocked on other teams, either of the mid laners. So
White One's owning bottom, by the way. He's just like zoning out 2 heroes, killing couriers. He may get a first blood here.
Whoa, Afu chased down through the trees, has the movement speed advantage, and gets him. Okay. Very nice start.
Abaddon's just running at people. Now he's level 2, so he's got Curse of Abaddon, and it's Caustic Finale. Is he going to get 2 kills here? No. With the TP in, he was going to let the Sand King go, but he's going to keep zoning. He's 1v2, but he is stronger than these 2 heroes right now.
Level 1 Sand King. Quite stronger. And I mean, they're underneath the tower right now as well, so they're getting that extra little protection, but literally bullying back both of them. Raging Potato is now going to come back in.
Yeah. Giving him the dog champ spray. Giving him some arf-arfs as well. He is having a great time. And this is, the strength of Abaddon a bit. I think the level 1 is definitely one of Abaddon's strongest points in lane. We'll see if it stays that way. But as far as some of these other lanes go, things not going as bad as they are bottom lane for SMG in either mid or top.
Yeah, super annoying to deal with that one. But like you said, they're having a much better time here. And of course, Cuckoo, at least in the early goings, is struggling a little bit in the CS department. I guess, again, it's sort of the strength of having, like, you know, so much right-click damage that they have to deal with. These heroes just punch away as well.
Yeah, it seems like they're trading right clicks a lot top, and no one's CSing. Drow has no last hit, so Drow and Necro both foregoing the last hits in a bit of a CS battle. Both Drow and Necro are also two heroes that, you know, particularly the Necro, low base damage. It's not the easiest hero to last hit on with just your right clicks.
Yeah, very annoying. Deal with that one. Ooh, mid lane.
Yeah.
Carl was able to dodge the splitter with the snowball and then also get some extra harassment in there. Does get denied out a little bit, but as you said, he's certainly having like an okay time here mid.
Yeah, he made a really nice play where he grabbed one water rune and then stopped Lesh game to the other with an ice shard block. So getting the double rune gave him a ton of sustain to deal with the Leshrac and also just allow him to keep his mana up so he can keep getting last hits with the ice shard.
And again, 3-minute mark coming around. We'll see if he can make that same type of a play again. Carl already doing very well against this Lesh and pushing the wave underneath the tower. Snowball, so actually able to bait that one out, Moon did. But the mind game's going on here mid.
Yeah. At this point, Carl needs to be a little careful. Like, he's kind of biding his time. Hope, you know, he needs that 4-minute rune soon with his bottle empty, but got to imagine Moon is going to make sure he camps one of the runes as well because he himself is
up top.
Ooh.
Nicely played there. So Zephyr able to come on in and get some kill action and also punch away at mid one with the double creeps underneath the tower. So this top lane going pretty well. And again, it's more going to come down to the later stage mid-game fights when Oracle really counters out this Necrophos, whether it's trying to get kills on him or just saving his teammates.
Yeah, I expected Cuckoo to do decent in lane and get some CS back. I'm surprised, they got a kill there. That's probably not something that's meant to happen here. But great job by T1 in these early lanes to get a couple of kills, and really every single lane seems to be doing fine for now.
Yeah, I guess it gets back again to what you're talking about, that mechanically just gifted player constantly trying to eke out whatever advantage he possibly can in the lane stage, making it work for himself, and a much more even early start to this. Drow is definitely the one of all the cores that's behind, at least in terms of last hits, is actually like a little bit ahead of net worth than the Necro, just because Cuckoo's been having to like ferry out regen and focused on denying out mid one's farm more than anything.
Yeah, seems like all these top lane heroes are just not getting the best farm they would like. The Luna, the real breadwinner of this lane stage, and Dust's doing a pretty good job putting pressure. If he's hits level 6, he's pretty far from level 6, but there is always that kill threat with the Warriors punch, and even before it, Moon has to be careful. Has a salve that Carl doesn't have a way of canceling.
Pump faking that stun and then just eventually gets the deny out afterwards. Moon putting the fear into Carl right now as he hits level 6. I'm going to start pressuring in with that Pulse Nova, and yeah, this is where Carl's game becomes a lot more difficult.
Oh, he got the scan though. He sees Afu coming in. At first it was green, and then right at the end before the scan expired, it ticked red, so he knows Afu's here. And a very good time to rotate from Afu, knowing that the Leshrac 6 has a ton of kill threat, and if he doesn't defend the tower, you just edict it down and start pressuring it with the catapult.
Lightmon comes on in, trying to help him, but I mean, this is not an easy help by any stretch of the imagination. Although the creep wave, it's about to die, and that's going to give him 6. It's not quite dead yet, though. And Snowball save for the moment. Did he get it off of that? He did.
6.
Walrus Punch, not quite enough damage. Moon living through this just barely, but with the right clicks, it will eventually be enough. Zephyr barely surviving through that one as well, and Afu just turns, almost kills him. Zephyr, oh no, he could have just walked away. And then the TP out, not going to happen. So they do at least get that kill. The haste rune making sure that Carl can get action in.
Yeah, smart from Carl to just run off and grab the rune there. I think poor Bane didn't quite realize that Tusk needed to like dip out and come back in. He would have gotten that kill regardless, but they're not done. Carl, on the move.
Good rotation here, recognizing that danger, and they get the kill. So with the last little remnants of the haste, able to make it happen, and now going to walk back and pick up the other bounty rune. He didn't even get both of the bounty runes when he was running there.
Very nice. Carl has that free bottle refill, and he needs to come back mid. This T1 mid tower, it's in deny range with this creep wave. Leshrac doesn't want to commit to it and die again. It looks like the creeps will just finish it off. So very fast T1 mid tower going the way of SMG.
Yeah, Carl opting to choose to keep his TP over keeping that tower alive so they can make rotations if there is any action on any of these other lanes. But obviously coming at a cost now, and we'll see what SMG want to do with this. Like, you open up the map a lot, and Moon heads on into the jungle, was looking for a bounty, not able to find it on the Lesh. As you can see, they're setting up there onto the Drow up top.
There's also a kill attempt on Carl mid. There's no tower to TP do to help him out, and with the silence,
yeah, it
chain
comes
stun.
through the stun there afterwards, and he's gonna go down. So easy kill.
Yeah, nice little move there. They know there's, from last time, there's just kind of no detection in that area, so he doesn't see it coming and can't make any kind of a play there with the chain stun, as well as the inability to snowball because of Phantom's Embrace. And that secures the 8-minute rune. So whether it's top or bottom, it looks like Moon should be able to get it. It's just a DD rune, unfortunately for him. Not the best rune, but it's, you know, still lets him refill his bottle.
Very, very nice. You saw there for a second as well the Sand King, who we haven't really talked about that much. Raging Potato down bottom is getting gone on. Doesn't have Sandstorm for another 10 seconds, but gets the cut through the trees. They drop down vision and eventually are going to find, cook up that potato. Ninja Boogie dies up on the top side of the map as well.
It was a Reaper kill, it looks like. He's dead for a little while. But mid one now, exposed under his tower, has a lot of one charges, and the question here for T1 is going to be like, okay, if we dive this, who can TP, and is it a problem for us? Sand King about to respawn. Leshrac has a TP. They want to go for this.
Moon is here already. This is going to be a disaster. And Cuckoo tries to get away, but to no avail. Good recognition by SMG.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's good. It's definitely a win there for SMG, but for T1, you're saying, okay, we forced 4 heroes top. Like, that's kind of an inefficient move in some ways from them. Obviously, keeping your carry alive and getting a kill on an enemy core is always nice, but as long as T1 are getting farm elsewhere on the map, they should be okay with this. Like, Gabby knows it's just a solo Sand King down bottom and he can farm the lane, whereas typically he may be forced into the jungle. But he can Raging Potato. He may be in some trouble down here. There is a collapse coming his way.
Round 2 of this one. And yeah, hoping to escape, but the shards are there. They got him in, and the dust already out. Means it's more than enough damage for another kill there onto Raging Potato. I was just about to talk about how he was like top of the net worth, and suddenly he's dropping down rather rapidly. So some good emphasis placed by T1 on shutting down that offlaner before the Blink Dagger. He's close.
Yeah, and suddenly Gabby's like 1,000 gold ahead of everyone in this game, and with Mask of Madness, he's gone for the greedy Max Glaives Luna Blessing. His farm's going to skyrocket. If they can stack some Ancients here for him, which they're going to start stacking the triangle with both camps, like, he's going to very quickly become this unkillable, like, pushing carry machine that gets buffed up by the Abaddon shield, and also has all these saves behind him from Tusk as well as the Nightmare on the Bane. So I feel like they're going to hit this really scary timing in the mid game with this Luna, even if it's not like the best Luna game.
Right, and at that point in time, all you kind of need from, like, I mean, Cuckoo goes, you know, with, I don't know, Solar Crest or something else like that. You can kind of, just like you said, play behind this hero.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something to watch for. T1 starting to get strong and making a move. Dire immediately scanning. It looks like it might be a little bit too early. Is it going to turn red on them? It does. So they know that this rotation's coming right at the end there. All right, heads up play by SMG, but it might be too late. Mid
Moon's
one.
gonna pop it. Moon?
Underneath the tower. Carl right on top of him. But the silence onto both. Trying to make a little bit of extra play. The stun is there. And now the rotation in from Moon. Carl trying to get away, and they're keeping mid one alive. Just barely, and they will find and kill the Tusk as well.
Yeah. This time around, they make it really worth their while. SMG bringing not 4, but 5 heroes this time. And as soon as T1 realized that, like, yeah, we got to get out, they, you know, they kind of tried to initiate on Moon's Leshrac to the south while they were dying top. And they're not done. Zephyr doesn't get hit by the Burrow Strike, but the Inkswell will catch him.
Yeah, and then the slowdown comes on in. The right clicks are there from mid one, and they're ready to go again. So SMG making some solid moves here. Trying to shut down the map before Luna really gets out of control.
And because they've taken that T1 mid, if they also get the T1 top, they can actually gain a lot of map control and potentially contest this Ancients on the Radiant side, the triangle. It's only a double stack for now, but you want to take that farm away from the Luna if possible.
It definitely feels like they're trying to run against the clock right now, but this is big. Raging Potato looks for the jump, and he gets the blink broken. Oh, what a play! Carl got it with the shards. It's going to get saved at the last second, but so much of that damage just isn't going to be done.
They find new targets, though.
Zephyr looking out. Moon, Carl wants to chase in, but he's taking way too much damage. The Reaper Scythe is there, and no save. Ninja Boogie was a little bit too far away. Gabby getting chased by mid one. Marksmanship doing some pretty good work. Aku's on the other side and getting boiled down. A couple more punches is all they need. They get him and off to the side. They will eventually find the kill onto Gabby. The rest of T1 has to back out. Mid one slowing them down. Look at all these right clicks coming in, and actually Ninja Boogie finds the finish. So these slow, steady fights normally favoring Necrophos. It's not this time. Zephyr off to the side, gets the Nightmare on the Drown. Need to trade it back over. Gets on to mid one. Trade back the other direction. Good swap over, but it's not going to be enough. Carl, the right clicks are there. They took the fight too close to the tier 2 tower. Still, Oracle doing a ton of damage there. Almost killing Carl. A double for Ninja Boogie. That's 3 in this fight. Redemption for the poor man himself. And now the turn. Raging Potato is thinking about not going to happen. Burrow Strike, Moonwalks back in, everybody's dying, everybody wants to get in on the action, and now steal the stacks too.
It seemed like SMG bit off more than they can chew, but they kept, even though mid one dies there, he was getting tipped by T1. Like Carl was snowballing in mid-team fight, he's getting tipped, and he just turned and tanked a bunch of damage and almost survived with the Oracle. So SMG definitely getting the last laugh on that one. Despite T1 thinking they'd overextended. So you can definitely see the strength of SMG's draft and how, underwhelming this Necro can kind of be because he's just so hard countered this game.
That was so wild. Yeah, the hard counter, I mean, and the thing about it is like all of the healing that they're getting too and sort of slow, steady bits of damage coming in. Gabby found yet again, jumps in, Burrow Strike is there, Epicenter afterwards. Do they have enough? Oh, but the Phonic Shield, Gabby actually gets away. And now, Abba pops the ulti. Have they gone a bit too far? Oh, Moon, right on the wrong side of the shards. And now Raging Potato tries to Burrow Strike out of there, and it looks like he will escape. Okay, we are 25 kills in 14 minutes. We are definitely off to the races in this one.
Yeah, that's what SMG's draft wants to do. It wants to keep fighting, going for these kills, and T1 are like, well, we got all these, tanky heroes that have these saves, so we got to try and fight when we can. There's a scan on the Roshan pit. I don't know if SMG are worried about a Roshan here. It is Luna. Theoretically, Mask of Madness Luna could try a Rosh, but I realize, I think that it's not going on here. Luna just using this time to go for some Ancients. T1 in a much better position to now fight with this Luna. I think one of the issues going for that 1-4-4 build is that Luna, Lucent Beam is like a lot of Luna's ability to team fight early on, not to mention the Eclipse. So now that Gabby's a bit higher level, we can see him get a lot more involved in these fights.
I feel like I need to reassess where we are in the game right now because so many things have changed in the last couple of minutes. Grim is still going for the shards. So that could be a nice little pickup for Afu here as a way to help out his team, because now you've got a bunch of different heals and disables that are coming in.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the, I think, better shards when you have good heroes that can just run in and take, get a lot of value out of it. We'll see if he gets that first or the arc. It looks like he wants that over the Arcane Boots since he's just about to have enough gold, so. As far as this game goes, yeah, I think the worry for T1 is just how they put together a good team fight. Yeah, they have got all these defensive things, these saves, but they're not going to be that reliable. The Necro can't exactly frontline, and they haven't got any way to really cleanly initiate.
Yeah, Carl is sort of seeing himself do it a lot with the snowball, and I mean the problem with if he doesn't decide to go for a blink rush is he's just gonna die in the same way that he's dying right now. And Zephyr going to Nightmare himself, try and stay alive, but eventually they will be able to bring down that Bane again. And pressure onto the tier 2 tower, and not a clean response right now from T1. They're gonna lose this tower.
T1 don't feel like they're ready to fight, and I think rightfully so. They need a BKB on Luna. But losing a tier 2 tower means losing your outpost, and things start to look a little bit more grim. But I think T1 recognizing they're playing around Roshan, they see that as a more key objective. Not that they're securing Rosh, but you don't want to give that to SMG with how aggressive their draft plays. Not to mention, yeah, just waiting for some key items. Necro finishes a pipe. That's not going to completely save Cuckoo's game. I think he's still in for a world of pain, but at least it's something for an upcoming team fight. These bottom, are they going for this?
Gabby, this would be a big kill if they get it, but BKB out. And now a turn. Afu in trouble, gonna die to Carl. Raging Potato tries to get away, has another burrow strike, but the grip is there. He's gonna get brought down.
Good punish. I guess they thought they had the damage even through BKB because, you know, it's not really worth it just to force BKB there, I think. Even if Sankin gets out, like, Gabby's more than happy to come in as BKB. They get 2 kills in return and just some breathing room to regain their jungle, take back their outposts, and just continue to try and get some more farm going.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you get out right there, probably as well on the Sand King, that's maybe worth it because like you're pulling that team to like all of them to one side of the map. But I don't know, it's a weird one for sure. Where if you end up dying, then it feels real bad. So 15 to 13, and now an interesting dynamic because, like you said, we're still definitely seeing T1 wanting to like get this Gabby Luna online and be like that carry for him. She has BKB now. Do you feel like you want to fight at this point if you're T1, or are you still waiting for more items?
I think you want to contest Roshan. It may be tricky. Mid one has a double damage, but I think the answer has got to be yes when you're talking about Roshan. They're at least close-ish on gold, but they got to get there fast. They're being scanned, so they also just don't seem to realize that maybe Roche is going on, or if they do realize, they're not going for it. So free Roche going SMG's way.
Yeah, that's huge. That's really good for them. And immediately smoke up afterwards. Down bottom, Carl is right on top of a ward, so they know where he's at and are beelining for him immediately. We'll see if Carl picks up on this or not.
Yeah. It's not like the dream kill to go for because it's so far away. Like, you're going to the worst place on the map to be, the far right side. Like, all the Radiant objectives and towers, like, it's their Ancients, it's their triangle. But if you kill Carl, this is worth it. If you don't, you're going to quickly feel like you're wasting a lot of time.
Now they spot him. Afu. Oh, no, just right at the edge of the... They get him. Okay. So they do manage to find and kill off this Tusk, most likely, as he is trying to get out of their face. So it's Piggy. Piggy.
Nice.
Yeah, they got him.
Dunzo. Oh, you know. Took a bit of time. But yeah, that is still a mid laner. Like, yeah, you know, you only, okay, it's a Tusk creating space, but like, that's their mid. So definitely not a good sign for T1. But great job by SMG sniffing him out in the trees there, figuring out where he is. And they're not done yet.
Oh my god. Yeah, wait, that's real? Gabby
Yeah.
in trouble
Team
in the
melted.
marksmanship. Just no armor at all. Needs one more hit. Raging Potato looking for the chase. But Zephyr there with the grip. That keeps him alive. Now Reaper's sight. Oh, but he gets it off in time. Ninja Boogie right on point and able to keep Raging Potato alive. Now Zephyr in some more trouble as the Burrow Strike is out. And eventually the trade over the Nightmare for the kill.
And Gabby's just like hightailing it out there. He's running top. He's like, I don't want anything to do with this fight. But SMG just, yeah, it's, if Oracle's there in position with the save, like, you're just not killing anyone. You can't rely on the Reaper. The magic damage burst is just not going to really be able to come out. And now SMG, they smell blood. They smell Cuckoo.
Cuckoo gonna drop as well. Not a chance in the world to get out of there. I mean, they are really abusing this hero right now. And
yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you do. It's a 4,000 gold lead. SMG, they've got free reign of the map. Tier 2 tower again gonna fall. And Aegis is still got 3 minutes left.
They can just use this to keep taking any fight, play on the enemy side of the map, farm their Ancients, and also just go high ground. They say, all right, let's go. Arcane Rune Leshrac, we've got Edict to push with. Let's go.
God, Carl needs so much more money. He is so broke. Oh, man. Tries to get out of there. Silence is out. And will they be able to do anything here? Mid one? Taking some damage, but Ninja Boogie is there. I mean, he's still got a Holy Locket, too, this early on. Ooh, tried to save, but not able to get him.
He
No
died
false
too fast for
promise.
Oracle. Yeah, with the false promise on cooldown, you know, they're able to try and chase and make something happen here, but unfortunately for Carl, without a blink and no BKB means he can't just go, you know, he could try snowball in, but could just lead to his death. And T1 do repel the push for now. This should buy them enough time for this, just maybe not to expire. There may be like one last push from SMG, but at least it gets T1 out on the map to keep building up some kind of net worth.
They need it. They need, I mean, so much at this point in the game. Because Luna's very farmed, you know? Gabby, top net worth in the game, but this is a carry that is countered by Drought. All of her armor goes to nothing. It really, really hurts when you're playing against that hero.
Yeah, it's pretty grim. Maybe at some point later on you go for like some kind of blink to try to get on top of Drow, but that feels like it's something that needs to happen way further down the line. T1 bottom. We'll get out. Okay.
Raging Potato a little bit slow on that burrow strike. The Nightmare came out beforehand. So they weren't able to get the kill. Still, kill score even. They've been throwing their bodies at each other, but it is definitely the lead right now for SMG as they are continuing to hound T1 around the map and retake over their outposts now as well.
Gabby's done a good job, though, on his Luna. He's managed to get out onto the map, farming in a place where SMG don't want to play. And if SMG go to make a play on him, he's going to realize when heroes are missing from the map and he might need to back off. The BKB TP is reliable this game, so it's pretty hard to kill Gabby. So just getting to that top part of the map, maintaining that top net worth position. But we're going to have to see how much it counts for, because SMG are ready to make a play here on the high ground mid.
Oh, Raging Potato finds them both right at the start, but the save, it's there. They were ready immediately. Now the turn. Good shards afterwards. Kukui ends up going down. They didn't have anything to save him, and immediately the Fiend's Grip is taken off. Dude, they just do not have an answer.
Aegis is expiring, but... No, still have the glyph there. They're going to deny the tier 4 tower. They want to go back in, even with the Aegis expiring. Just Ninja Boogie played that fight so well. False Promise on one, Fate's Edict on another. He saved 2 of his teammates with his play that fight.
And it does, as you mentioned, those abilities being down leaves an opening here. At the very least, a potential for one. Good chunk of damage there onto Moon. The Eclipse as well. Will it be enough with the Reaper Sight that is? Fate's Edict still on cooldown. Okay, T1 finding a little bit of mojo here, and Ninja Boogie is also going to drop. They went in too far. Good one's got to get the heck out of here. As Afu is trying to TP out, will be able to.
Vision.
Cuckoo, can't quite get him.
Yeah, and Carl was a bit far for the snowball. He was actually in the pig pole trying to get that movement speed burst, so he couldn't snowball in. Mid one would have been a huge kill, but they still hold high ground. That tower, they were going for the range racks here. At this point, it feels like SMG are trying to, we mentioned they're throwing bodies at each other. SMG were throwing bodies to try and take a racks there, which maybe isn't the best idea, considering I do feel like their lineup scales well, and it almost feels like they're playing with a bit of panic and like they're on a timer, when that really isn't the case.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm kind of curious if they, if it feels like, that way to them in the game right now, because it definitely looks like it from the play point of view. And Drow getting towards the Scotty. It feels like there's going to be a couple more strong windows for them. The gold lead pretty substantially swings back, though, and now we're about even again. So in spite of what felt like kind of dominance from SMG, T1 staying in it, mainly off the back of just this mega farmed Luna.
Yep. You can see, though, Gaben does like the dire draft, still gave him like a 70% win probability, even with a pretty even gold distribution. Definitely, that Drow matchup against the Luna, plus just... I think they just have a way easier to play draft. Like, Leshrac is going to scale well. They've got lots of chain stun. They've got the Necro counter in the Oracle. But we saw last fight, like, Ninja Boogie initially does some really good job saving a couple teammates, but there's going to be points where his spells are on cooldown or they get purged off. You still can find those Reaper's kills every now and then.
Yeah, and of course, if you can bait out the Fate's Edicts or other stuff without having to use the Reaper, the hero functions in pretty much the same way that he normally does as well. But Lightmon, okay,
enemy ward.
Yeah, there's Vision up there now, and
SMG's like, do we go? It's the Abaddon. That's like the hero you never want to go on.
Oh, Rage Potato gets caught. That's a big kill.
DD Luna. They want more. They immediately smoke, and they're going to run at whoever they can find. And SMG need to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, they are going to, although scan. Oh, it hits onto them. So they know they're behind this tower.
Oh, Carl's so close to Ninja Boogie. He's going to have his smoke pop, but... snowball. Very close.
That's a spooky one right there.
Yeah.
But look, they're doing a great job of pushing out all of these lanes. So there's no objective right now for T1 to take. Oh my god, it's an instant Roche spawn, though.
Ooh, I was about to say, for T1, I think you just go back and farm it up and say, all right, let's get another item or two, but a Roshan would be even better, but 5 seconds till Sanking's back. Cuckoo should pop his nose in to scout this out. But I don't think T1 can actually go for Roshan now with SMG all alive. And SMG, they're the ones actually looking to make a move and a play here, it seems.
Mid one, not with the rest of the team at the moment, but the rest of them on SMG are heading out back towards mid. Yeah, it's a scary moment in the game because, I mean, as much as we've talked about how good this SMG draft is against what T1 has on deck, like, it does all come down to execution. And, you know, you step into the wrong spot where there's a ward or the initiation starts looking weird, and suddenly you're in a really bad position for either team.
Yep. See there. Just Carl doing what he can, clearing waves, not putting himself in any danger. And SMG doing the same thing this mid lane. They know they need to keep these lanes pressured because their goal is to try and find a way to secure themselves Roshan. I don't think they're too afraid of T1 going to the pit. Like, Lunik does Rosh okay, but I think they feel like they can just keep pressuring waves. Bring Epicenter in!
Right away. The leash there, and then the Yule's up onto both. Whoa, weird. This is not the fight that I think they wanted. They were hoping to get a pick off there.
But they did force out a BKB on the Tusk, though, so that's one less BKB to worry about. And they immediately smoke up. They're going to be looking for that next initiation. And with creep waves pressuring bottom, like, T1 is so laser focused on this Rosh that at some point they're going to have to defend their high ground.
I mean, if they get this Rosh for... do they know?
It's huge. They're drumming. They're killing this pretty fast.
They're not going to get there in time. Oh, my God, SMG. Oh, that really hurts.
Recharge.
Oh, they're too far away. Raging Potato, he's getting close. It's actually dropping not quite as quickly. Looking for it. Raging Potato wants to jump in, but no, he's not able to get it. The Blink Dagger was broken. Just barely. Not going to get there in time for SMG. Oh, that hurts.
That's, yeah. I'm surprised SMG let that happen. I mean, they themselves will be kicking themselves in the foot for it. Just a bit of a miscalculation on their part, and a great job from T1 recognizing, hey, they're not here. They showed bottom. They smoked up, but Leshrac was on the wave. They're going to get a Bane mid. No Snowball. Snowball save. He could turn this.
Thinking about it. Silence there onto both of them now. Then one, he's not able to connect onto Zephyr. Moon now goes into both of them. This fight has gotten very strange. Moon has to back away because he's getting a little bit isolated away from the rest of the team, but no, instead they jump in and they find the kill onto Carl. So still, in spite of being down in Aegis, SMG are not actually going to play defensively.
I like it. Like, they catch Hero's out position. Going high ground is going to be so difficult with Gabby on the front line, so he can just throw out these Lucent Beams now with the Ag Shard, which is really nice for defending. But he needs the
they
shield.
Just jump and try and bring him down. Nightmare afterwards. Gabby dead. That's one life. But now the turn. Oh, Cuckoo tries to get away, barely able to survive through that one. Okay, SMG is still so strong right now.
Raging Potato, he goes in on Gabby and uses the Abaddon as he does so. That was such a nice play from him to get the Aegis, because you don't get the Aegis there if the Abaddon is able to just shield up Gabby and heal him back up. So they may be able to go high ground here, but with the Tusk respawning, I think SMG want to play things a little bit more cautiously.
I mean, this is definitely one of those games that feels like it could go either way, but it should go one way. And T1 backs up against the wall, but not giving up. That Aegis sneak, put them in definitely a slightly better position. Who actually ended up getting the shard? Was it the Luna that got it?
She had it queued up, but I think she ended up not buying it and just taking the free one.
Yeah, so even more. Oh, wait, look, take a headband? That was left behind. Okay.
Oh, was that Dire neutral item?
Actually, no, it was Radiant.
Okay.
So it was there from earlier.
Oh. Gabby almost dataless, and then he's got that Blink Dagger queued up. Mentioned, like, getting on top of this Luna is just going to, on top of Drow is so key.
So
show themselves here.
You talked earlier about this being a game that Gabby can carry. And we were talking about mainly in like the idea of them sort of snowballing and looking really good early on as Carl is going to get found, then just TP out. Do you think that that's still the case, that this is a game that Gabby could carry like on her own on this Luna, or is it sort of starting to look really rough?
I think it's more the latter. It's definitely not unwinnable for T1, but it's not like okay, this Luna's going to scale late game and out carry people because she's the most farmed. I think the hope with their draft was like it was going to be more like a Luna's 5k net worth ahead of everyone, and you snowball in the mid game. That's not happening. The hope now is going to be that you find ways to punish SMG based on heroes being out of position. The Tusk Aghanim Scepter, I think, is going to be a pretty big one with that Walrus kick, especially in any kind of high ground defense scenario. But I think T1 are they're gonna have to be playing with finesse to try find kills against Oracle. It's like their draft is just way harder to play. It's not impossible. It's not like Gabby can just frontline and carry the game based on some kind of farm lead, but they're gonna have to find a way to just outplay SMG and out execute them in team fights.
Okay. Oh, and you can see that some of that execution is going to come down to mobility as well. Tusk, Blink Dagger done. You've got one queued up on the Luna now as a next item. Obviously, 4 staff, on there for the ABBA, going for more vision. Bane has a Blink Dagger. It's definitely about trying to outmaneuver him. And SMG, I just keep on seeing Raging Potato slam his face into them.
Yeah, for T1's hopes, like their win condition this game is the Tusk and their supports making sick plays. Like they're the ones who have the playmaking potential. Like a Bane, Nightmare 1, Grip another in a really good spot. Tusk, he's the backline jump. Abaddon's the guy who needs to be getting these shields off and not like last fight he got caught in a Yule Scepter and couldn't shield off the Luna to protect the Aegis. So these kind of things are what's going to matter.
Setting a trap, wrap around. They find one, the Oracle, right at the start. Caught out of position. Afu trying to give up his life to make sure the rest of his team can get out, but mid one being chased. Shards just barely off the mark there, looking for the chase down. Walrus punch afterwards. They got him in trouble. No save at all. The grip afterwards finds Moon. Raging Potato trying to stop the madness. He just throws his body in for more. Another sacrifice to the gods as T1 find all of them.
That's their win condition is just getting the perfect fight where you jump the backline, kill the supports, and the playmaking comes out of your Tusk, your Bane. They're the ones who can lock people down, and we'll see it again here. It was just the perfect entry from behind the fight. Dire thought they were safe to have all these wards outside the Radiant base, and they just smoke past them all. They sneak in, get some easy kills, and it goes to shit from there for SMG.
Yeah, and don't look now, but they are still gone for 40 seconds on this Leshrac. There is no buybacks on any of these heroes that are dead right now.
And this is Luna. You take a tower, you bounce those glaives on ramp. You can't defend. Grimsburg and Oracle need to hug the fountain.
If they go for this, how quickly are they going to go? I saw some pings for the tier 4s. They're thinking about it.
I don't think they definitely don't get thrown. Maybe Leshrac is going to be dead for a lot longer, but they'll get the 1 lane. Okay. And now with 4 heroes alive, they probably feel like, okay, let's, play for next Roshan or play the map control game. I think T1 recognize, their draft is still, it's the weaker draft, and pushing high ground, you put yourself in an even weaker position by letting, SMG get that initiation advantage. They're going bottom. Looks like SMG just want to defend this tier 1. The Illusion's going to finish off the tower, though.
Yes, Illusion's just not dying, and can't even get the deny against the Illusions. Feels bad, man. Poor Afu.
Now Gabby's got a Blink Dagger on Luna, so he's about to hit level 25 as well.
And immediately afterwards, queuing up that Swift Blink. Yeah, I'm not sure. SMG, that was such a huge swing back into the favor of T1, and now they're smoked up and going for another wraparound. They're showing back towards mid. Ninja Boogie, he's hiding off in the trees, does not want to get caught again, but over to the side to get him. The Walrus kick, good force staff trying to keep him alive, but not going to be able to do anything. Ninja Boogie realized it wasn't going to be enough to save him.
They almost got the +1. He TP's out just barely. And it's the Luna night vision. Like, they're just smoking around, and then because it's nighttime and they have Luna, they see him from the high ground. For a second there, I was like, wait, how did Carl initiate? Like, does this guy have map hack? You shouldn't see him. But no, Luna gives you all that bonus vision and just makes finding these pickoffs at nighttime so much easier.
This is definitely completely fallen off the rails for SMG, and T1 very happy to pick up all of the pieces of it. There's a couple other things that are changing up here soon. Afu almost has an Aghanim Scepter done on the Grimstroke, but again, the way that these fights have been going, it feels like it might not even matter as Carl going to... Oh, wait, Walrus kick him back into the grip! Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Dude, what a sick play!
That looked like a soccer move. Like, he jukes him one way, turns around. They're going to get Raging Potato potentially as well. T1 are just styling. He tips Moon and everything.
That was so sick. Carl Pele. Oh,
This is a different T1 we're seeing today.
yeah, let's see the replay of this. Like you can see the moment where Moon realized, oh no, what have I done? Oh.
Yeah, the fact that the changes in 7-3-1 to make the Walrus kick vector targeted is just like such a nice buff. Like you can do that where you don't kick just the way you're facing. It just makes it so much easier to play with this Aghanims, and maybe a reason why Tusk could come back in the meta. This Aghanim Scepter is so much better than it used to be. I thought the old Ags was already pretty strong.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's made things significantly better, and I mean, there's been moments where I was wondering about this mid Tusk, but it's sort of given them the answers that they needed. A hero to go in to be tanky. This guy, I mean, he's got 3.9 strength gain too. Gives you faster Roche take in with the tag teams. What more could you want?
Tusk looking very solid here, and all the supports have all the items they need. Like both Bane and Abaddon have a lot of farm to impact these fights. The boots are bearing the Force Staff. We've seen how the Force Staff has saved multiple teammates' lives in these fights, particularly Cuckoo when he's in a bit of a tough spot.
Going high ground is going to be a bit of a different beast for them, I'll say. Even with the Aegis, maybe there could be some issues because you've got this Grimstroke Dark Portrait. They've still got some like really good stuns and stuff, but I don't know. Time will tell. It looks like SMG is trying to fight over here outside the base a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's like let's maybe catch them a little by surprise. Often you're going to expect when the enemy team have Aegis just to defend high ground, but they want to play around this ward. But if T1 are cautious, they should maybe expect something like this. You can see Whitemon. He's running in, maybe expecting some kind of...
Oh! Gabby, he threw out the Lucent Beam just onto the high ground and it hit on the Sand King.
Yeah. This is very disciplined from T1. You have Whitemon going into the trees toward the cliff on the side of the map, and then Gabby just scouting with Lucent Beams on high ground. They're just doing all these nice disciplined plays to not put themselves in any danger.
Jumps in, Walrus kick back again, but Gabby, oh wait, he did get destroyed. Look at it, the illusion. Oh, it's tearing them apart. The Luna illusion is so strong. They gotta be careful. Can they do anything afterwards?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But the Walrus kick means you can't rely on this Oracle to save anyone. Ninja Boogie needs like a blink dagger or something, but even then he's blinking to die. Another kick.
Oh, mid one caught again. Tries to get away, but there's no getting away from him right now at all. They need another Dark Portrait. 7 seconds away. Raging Potato looking for the jump in. The Burrow Strike away, and T1, they're hunting. They find themselves another. Gets turned on, finds the kill. And now no buybacks. GG is called. What a turnaround from T1.
Yeah, this game looked really rough for them, and all it took was that one big fight, and then also just sniping Aegis just right from under SMG's nose. Like, SMG were the ones who had most of the map control at that point. They were keeping the lanes pushed out, and I think they just, got caught with their pants down. Didn't really consider Roshan being something that T1 could kill as fast as they did, so really solid stuff. T1's high ground defense on point, and just outmaneuvering SMG more than anything. This is not a game where SMG is going to feel like their draft let them down, I can tell you that.
Right. Well, and again, it just goes back to that point that you were talking about, where it felt like SMG was like anxious to get the movement going and to like really push the tempo, and one or two of those high ground pushes, they end up failing, and suddenly it all falls apart. But T1, definitely the team that stepped up in this one, and I was really impressed. I think it takes a special something to be as a mid player and call and say, I want Tusk mid, give it to me.
And it looked rough early. Like, he lost his tower 7 minutes in because, it's Leshrac, and how are you defending that as a Tusk? That's just not a matchup you're happy to play. But once we got to that mid to late game, perhaps he just had full confidence that this Aghanim's timing is just going to destroy the positioning, make it so that Oracle is ineffective, and that heroes like Drow and Leshrac, who rely on positioning, can get destroyed because they just get kicked into no man's land where they're surrounded by 5 enemy heroes.
Well, that is not where they want to be, for sure, but it's where they were at, and we'll see if SMG can pull it back. Obviously, a very fun team to watch, but T1 also stepping it up after some early struggles in the first week. But for now, we're going to head to a quick break. When we get back, the panel's going to break down all that action. Hopefully, we can see that Walrus kick highlight again. That was awesome. All right, see you guys in a few.
Against all odds, and believe me, I mean all, T1 were able to take out game number 2, and obviously this series in a very nice, somewhat convincing 2-0. I say somewhat. The first game, very much so. But game 2, Fear, I know you have many words to explain how T1 were able to come back in this.
Yeah, it's mainly just Drow being out of position every fight. Like, they're doing so well, the game was in their grasp for pretty much majority of the game. They had superior picks. Things like this, as you see right now, like little throws happened here and there from SMG, but like the biggest thing for me is like Drow didn't go for BKB, but more importantly is that Drow kept getting caught and Oracle was not nearby. Right?
That's a conundrum we were discussing on the panel.
Yeah.
When a carry dies out in position, is it the carry's fault for being out of the position or the support's fault for not?
I think it
Being
depends
behind
on
him.
the communication. If the
Exactly. correct.
carry is constantly calling that I'm going a certain place and the support doesn't follow up, then it's the support's fault.
Is it the support's
But,
fault?
yeah.
If the support's not coming with him, wouldn't it be his fault for being out of position?
It's
No.
the carry's fault as well for not realizing that his support is nearby before putting himself out of position.
But I think
So
if
that's
he's
not good awareness.
early warning him. I say this as a support player. It's never a support player's fault, actually.
Sounds like it's both of their faults.
It-
and that's
it
the
is.
real answer. Anyway,
50-50.
carry on.
Yeah, well, the other question I was going to ask for you, Sheep, was the mid-tusk.
Yes.
I want you to break
Yeah.
it all the way down for me.
My heart was split between the Drow and the Tusk. I went with the Drow. It was incorrect. But it's okay because I'm super happy that Tusk got to own. I mean, if we watch the net worth the entire game, especially during the early half, he was just really down there. He was sacrificing everything he had to run around the map trying to make plays. And I respect him for that. You know, word. He got some kills on the side lanes. He was really making moves happen. He did lose his tower extremely early as a result of that. I don't even think Lesh was the one that dealt the final blow. I think it was just a couple of creeps.
Heartbreak.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think the real turning point was when he got his Ags and he was kicking people around. Like, that was fantastic. The play bot, kicking into the grip, amazing. Kicking, like, Drow away, and Lesh even, away from their team was just, like, so effective. Keeping them away from the Oracle's reach, like, it was a perfect way to split the fight up, keep people away from the team, and get those pickoffs that they needed to keep the game rolling into a victory.
I guess there was a little bit of thought behind that draft, you know, even though it looked like a little bit of shambles at the start.
I mean, the Tusk is definitely good versus the Drow. No one had a doubt about that. It's just like we were worried it wouldn't get to a stage, and it probably shouldn't have, where it would come online.
Yeah,
right?
it was effective.
Yeah.
What are the takeaways if you're SMG? What are you learning from, I guess, this 2-0?
Don't throw that some. I mean, they definitely need to go and have a replay review and like kind of dissect where the communication went wrong between like the Oracle and the Drow, and when they're leading in a game, really think about how to keep that lead and realize when you're winning a game, the other team only really has one option. They're not just going to wrap the entire game. They're going to try to find some avenue to try and catch you and kill you, and they really got caught off by it, and they should have expected it, in my opinion.
And what have you guys learned about T1? What are you really looking forward to?
They're
in the
getting
future?
better.
E1's
Yeah?
back, baby!
Are you ready to say that? Are they back?
I'm pretty. I mean, they
Okay.
did just 2-0 SMG. It's not like this is some team people expecting to get relegated or do badly or anything. This
Yeah.
is a good team. They've looked good already in the DPC. I think as T1, especially in game one, like we came into game 2, Fierce saying, yeah, this draft is like done and dusted. Like it is so far in SMG's favor. It's out of control. And then they win the game anyway. Obviously, it didn't look like the smoothest thing ever, but game 1 did look smooth as hell. I think they looked really clean, really good, really solid. I really like their gameplay.
Well, you can tell them yourself as we
my
are going to be jumping into an
gosh.
interview with Cuckoo. Cuckoo, thank you so much for joining us. How is the feeling after game 2, especially that comeback?
I feel good because the Taskar become useful. Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think was a really big strength for you guys in this series?
I think we have a plan about our draft and we just execute it on game 1 so much better. Then the game 2 we don't expect that we will have a hard game. Then we just win. Yeah.
So when you were drafting for game 2, were you always going to be picking these heroes?
I think we have option, but we see the Taskar is really good against like like backline heroes like Oracle and Ro.
Mhm.
But I didn't think about the Aghanims. It's like it's too late, so we were thinking about just the early one. Then suddenly he just have Aghanims and just break the game.
Have you guys scrimmed with the Tusk at all, or was it just like a out of pocket, like I want to play this hero?
I think we have 100% win rate on Tuskar. I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Fine. So my question is for you, like, you guys busted out the Necrophos pretty early and blind. Like, is that something you normally do? And did you think that was a good Necrophos game?
I did not feel it that it's really good. I think they counter it well, and props to them. But yeah, he gonna play the like not the meta heroes like draw to avoid that scenario. So I think we just show them the power of Necro.
Yeah, definitely.
One last question before we do let you go is I want to know about your thoughts on the growth of T1, how you guys are coming along in the DPC, and if you're happy where you're at.
We're kind of happy now because we bounced back after our first series. It's like really sad for us. Then
Mhm.
suddenly we keep getting better, I think, and I hope we can continue until the end of DPC.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing the progression of T1. Thank you so much, Cuckoo, for joining us, and
Thank you.
congratulations again.
Bye.
Bye. There we have it. That is Cuckoo's words. They like that 100% that they have on Tusk right now.
It's good to know.
I think it's easy to say that when you have a very low number of games on him. But that is bringing us towards the end of the day as we do conclude our last series. So let's have a look at these standings so we can see where these Division 1 teams are placing. Fnatic now up there in the 2-0. I guess you could say they have a 100% win rate as well.
Yeah.
Even though it's only 2 series.
It counts.
It counts.
It does.
You can still say it for now.
Yeah.
And X-Christian having a 0% win rate down there on the bottom. Not as fun to say.
What can you do?
What can you do?
What can you do? I mean, it's not like they've looked the worst. I'll be real. I
Mhm.
Can still
totally.
be sad though.
You should definitely be
That's
sad.
worse. If it's like you're not looking bad, yet you still haven't won a series.
Yeah, but like that's hope.
Okay.
They could have gotten absolutely stomped and be like, well, guys, let's just disband mid DPC, you know? But no, there's hope. They look good. They're taking games. I think like some games have been way closer than anyone expected. I'm kind of feeling
This isn't
X-Christian.
youth sports, so you don't get like a participation trophy.
Don't, but here's the thing.
Did you ever get one when you played?
Well, not, probably, I don't remember.
Look, to play in TI, all you have to do is be in the DPC in the next season, and then you get to play the qualifiers. So all that matters is the big tourney, baby.
Yeah, the
Just
big-
keep getting better.
That's obviously what a lot of these teams are looking forward to as well. But because we are at the end of the week, it does mean that we get to vote on MVP. And if you look down here, these are our MVP votes. You have Asta, Ninja Boogie, Xavius, and Yopash. Wow, guys.
What?
I wonder who nominated
Who could have expected
Yopash.
this? Who could have expected this?
I'm so curious, but I'm actually I'm more curious about the Ninja Boogie. I
He
definitely
played
want you to
great.
defend that.
I mean, he definitely played great
Yeah?
in both games. Like, his Oracle was on point. I unfortunately gave mid one a lot of flack, and I'm going to continue to do so. And in that particular instance,
Okay.
but it was the Oracle Drow debate, who should be closer to who, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Ninja Boogie was not in the wrong there, and I think mid one was. So his positioning, his spell casting on both his Bane and his Oracle were great.
Mm-hmm.
He played good.
Well, that's something you can debate about the Oracle or the Drow. But you can also head over to CDPC League on Twitter to cast your votes for that MVP. And I definitely strongly recommend doing so. We don't want another Yopaj landslide.
We should definitely vote for Yopash.
I mean, he's just gonna win.
Vote for my
landslide
idol.
regardless.
Vote for my
Wow, we don't know that. We don't know that. You made a great case for Ninja Boogie. That's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to say. You made a great case for him.
But he's just a support player. He's never gonna win, sadly.
Vote for the supports.
This guy's really crying over here.
Yeah, he's going to go sit in the corner at the end of this, which unfortunately we are at. Thank you guys so much for joining us for week 2 of the Southeast
Aw.
Asia DPC.
Bye,
And we will see you in a few more
Bye-bye.
days.